I have the power to tell you that Masters of the Universe is not really that good. Oh no! And to be honest, I'm not really surprised by that because I went into this movie with not a lot of expectations, and this is easily the weirdest movie to come out this year so far. We are in the midst of a generational run at the cinema. Obsession is making history at the box office. The Backrooms movie has done very well at the box office. Gen Z is taking over cinema. And now we have a movie that does not appeal to Gen Z whatsoever. Let me just ask you all a question. If you're part of Gen Z, do you care about the Masters of the Universe franchise? I'm pretty sure 99.9% of you gave a big fat no. And to the one person who is a fan of this franchise, first of all, I'm very happy that you enjoy it. Go ahead and enjoy it. But I also don't believe you in the slightest. Nobody outside of the later half of life cares about the Masters of the Universe franchise. This IP has been dead since the 1980s when the Dolph Lundgren movie came out and absolutely flopped at the box office and nobody liked it.
I will be back.
No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
So why in the big 2026 are we getting a $100 million plus budgeted Masters of the Universe movie? It makes no sense whatsoever. No one is going to see this movie outside of 50-plus-year-olds. I know people have a good time, I'm pretty sure of it. But no one else will see it. In fact, I am certain, I'm making a prediction now, that this movie will not make $100 million at the box office. It's going to be the biggest bomb of the year. And as I said, I went into this movie with zero expectations. I have no history with the IP. The only things that I knew was that He-Man, Skeletor, and I Have the Power was going to be in this movie. The only glimpse of hope that I had was that it was directed by a guy called Travis Knight, and he's made some really good movies in the past. He's made the Transformers movie Bumblebee, which is my second favourite movie in that franchise. He's also directed Kubo and the Two Strings. Fantastic movie, you really need to go and see that. But unfortunately, Masters of the Universe is not that good. To put it into perspective, if you have seen any generic blockbuster in the past 10 years, then you have seen this movie before. This movie is not terrible. I'm not going to give it a negative review, but it didn't change my life either. In fact, after I've uploaded this video, I'm probably going to forget about this movie in a couple of days. Everything from the characters, the story, the visuals, the humour, which we will definitely get into soon, was just things that we have seen many times before. The characters are not terrible. I do think He-Man or Andy or Andrew, I completely forgot all the names except for Skeletor in this movie. I'm just going to be honest with you all. He was an okay protagonist. Skeletor had personality, but he was so inconsistent. Apparently this is how Skeletor has always been, and if that's the case, then I just don't like this character overall. They tried to make him this really sinister, a really spooky villain, and he'll kill anyone. And he speaks in the Bane voice from The Dark Knight Rises, like, I'm going to kill your child in front of you. And then every now and again, he'll just pop out a quip, and it's just really, really terrible. And it just ruins his presence. And also, if you did not know going in that Jared Leto, the box office poison man himself, was playing Skeletor, you'd have no idea after it, because they modulate his voice so much that it doesn't sound like Jared Leto whatsoever. But I will give him this. This is probably his best acting in years. The only character that I genuinely liked was this guy called Duncan, played by Idris Elba. We all like Idris Elba. He delivers a very, very strong performance. He plays this washed-up general for this army, and he has to rise up again and learn his confidence and be brave again. We've seen this art many times before, but it does work. And I do think Idris Elba brought a lot of personality to this film, and every time he was on screen, I was having a lot of fun. In fact, I don't think anyone was necessarily bad in this movie. Camila Mendes, she was okay. Alison Brie as Skeletor's henchman, or henchwoman in this case, she was very over the top, and I think that was very deliberate, because she's clearly having a blast in this movie, and you know what? Fair play to her. It's nice to see that actors are having fun. But they just can't save these stale, one-note characters where they have arcs, they have their flaws. And yes, they do get completed and they have a turnaround at the end, but nothing feels overly satisfying. You're never given a proper reason to care about these characters. And if anything, I do appreciate what they did with He-Man. He's sent back to Earth, he lives a normal life for about 15 years, and he's searching for the Sword of Power, I believe it's called. And he spends all these years, he finally gets it, finally becomes He-Man, and he fights Skeletor. You've seen it all before. but he was an okay protagonist. You cared about him in some sort, and I do like what were apparently the changes to his character. But this movie is also very inconsistent with characters showing up as well. For example, there's this green tiger, and apparently it's a very popular character for the IP. And he shows up at the start, and then he doesn't show up for another hour and 20 minutes or so. And he says like 3 lines and has 3 seconds of a fight scene. What a waste of an interesting and weird character. I also really did not like the look of this movie, which is strange because Travis Knight has always made his films look really, really nice. But with this one, it's just the same generic blockbuster look. There's an overuse of CGI, which at times looked pretty good. I do think the skeletal CGI was really, really good. But when it's stuff to do with green screens, blue screens, backgrounds, it looks so fake. However, I did like the way that he shot the action scenes. In fact, I do think the action was the best part of this movie. He uses slow-mo, and usually I don't like slow-mo in action movies, but it's used sparingly for the punches when they impact, and I like the way that he suddenly moves the camera around when a punch has happened and someone's got hit in the face or kicked. It was just really, really impactful, and I also really enjoyed the music. They use a lot of rock music and guitar music in this movie, and you know what? For all this movie's wackiness, I thought it fit the tone. So overall, Masters of the Universe is not a bad movie. It's perfectly watchable in the moment. But in a couple of days, I'm just going to forget about this movie. If you've seen any generic blockbuster from the past few years, you've seen this movie already. It has okay characters, nothing special, a very generic and very inconsistent villain, really bad jokes, really poor visuals. The action scenes are pretty cool though, and there are some decent moments here and there, but it's not going to change your life. Maybe if you're a fan of the IP, you'll like this more than others, but I'm going to give the Masters of the Universe movie a 5 out of 10. And there we go, people. That was my review. If you have seen Masters of the Universe, do let me know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, guys. Have a good day, and see you later.